Hi, welcome back. My name is Pike Fyre, and today we're going over my beautifully decorated fall inspired island. It is extremely cozy. It has been updated. It is so much better than my last island tour. If you haven't watched that, totally recommend. Take a peek. This is my Forever Cat Island. My last island tour video, it was summer themed. I've learned a lot in my last island tour video, and we're gonna go over the changes I've made to this island, things that I like now, things that I didn't like before, anything that's notable, I'm gonna bring it up, but let's just get started. So just as a reminder, this is my island Apricot. This is an all cat island, and since my last island tour video, the only major change that you'll see here in terms of villagers is now we have Stinky. I had to give Mitzi the boot. Stinky is now moseying into our island. He is now cozy. We'll go over his home. So with the season of fall, you will immediately notice my entrance has been fallified. It is maxed out for fall. We have fall decor everywhere. We have these wreaths. These wreaths are so gorgeous, aren't they? And you can really see that we have just started to revolutionize the island for the autumn season. This makes you want to put on your riding boots, go get a coffee, a latte, and then just mosey around for the perfect fall aesthetic. So with this updated rendition of my island, I really tried to emphasize just the coziness of fall. So you'll see we have leaves everywhere, pumpkin decor all over the place. You can really tell that I tried to take it to the next level. So one thing on my last island tour video that I noticed is that I didn't have a lot of trees. We were severely lacking in the tree department. Anywhere where there's an opportunity that we could add trees, I added some more trees. So near the community center, not the community center, near resident services, I added these trees. We added this tree here just to kind of help it really fill out the space. I started replacing a lot of fencing tiles with trees just to give it that dense autumny fall feel and really help fill in the island. Because my last island, it felt really empty. There were not enough trees. So you can kind of see as we are walking around exploring that it has really just filled out. I have added a bunch of trees in random spots. And to me, it really added to it. It really does make a difference. That is one thing I've learned. I did replace all of the bridges with brick bridges, and I replaced all of the inclines with brick inclines where it makes sense. I will say one of my gripes is that the path design doesn't completely match the bridge, and how we get around that is by adding pops of orange with pumpkins or trying to really tie together the orange theme of the brick into other spaces of the island. So hopefully we will notice that as we continue to tour. The museum has been updated for fall. It is kind of similar, but we did notably add a batch of trees right here with orange flowers behind to just fill in that space. Kiki's neighborhood is for the most part the same. You will notice all of our furniture. Last island, everything was white. This time, we took it to the next level. All of our furniture is brown themed, brown, bronze. We really tried to embody the vibe of fall. The color schemes of all of the houses have been updated to reflect those cozy fall colors. So you will see a lot of warm browns, a lot of caramels, a lot of yellows and reds. All of the flowers have been replaced with reds, yellows, oranges to really bring in that fall color. We used a lot of leaf piles, and we used a lot of single maple leaves to kind of just add to that little pop of fall. As we walk up, constant trees. So this season, a big focal point for me was the pumpkin patch. And I tried to do it a little differently. This pumpkin patch is maxed out. It is the laggiest part of my island right now, but it's also my favorite. We have the leaf piles. We have our pumpkin carving station where you can carve your pumpkins with friends. You can get ready for whatever you need to get ready for, whether you're celebrating a Halloween, celebrating Thanksgiving, getting ready for winter, closing out the fall season with a little celebratory pumpkin harvest. We have that here. I wanted it to be a little different. Usually when people make a pumpkin patch, it's just a bunch of pumpkins planted in the ground, but I wanted some variation. I didn't want to just have a brown square on the floor. I really wanted to make it a little more realistic as much as I could. We do have the use of custom dirt designs here. We have the use of leaf designs, but I just wanted it to stand out. And this way we have these big juicy pumpkins, varying sizes, varying colors, kind of gives it that realistic pop. But it's really fun. I really like this. I think it looks so nice. We ended up expanding this area and kind of slenderizing the river, and I think it was for the best. As I continue, you'll notice again the fall themed furniture, more trees, and a lot more mushroom decor. The mushroom decor honestly is so cutesy, and I think I want to shift to like a fairy themed island in the future because I really do like the use of mushrooms. It just adds to it. So as we see here, this is Rosie's house, and Rosie's house kind of had a little facelift. Things look a little different. The road was updated, modified. We changed some decor. I think it still doesn't look complete. There's something we could add here. We could change this. Something about it just doesn't seem done, But I did make sure to emphasize the addition of more plants. And then we created this walkway and revamped this whole area so we would have a direct access point for Nooks. So now we can go to Nook's Cranny. We can make that quick mindful drop off. You'll notice we have more trees here. We have a little seating area. We created this little entrance to really just celebrate fall every time you go in to make a purchase or make a sale. The theme for the furniture has shifted. You'll notice more yellows. You'll notice some oranges. You'll notice some reds. The parking lot is more or less the same, minus the introduction of more trees. And then you'll notice here on my last island tour video, there was a access ramp here that's been removed. And then the preservation location is now more nature focused, and we will get into that in a sec, but I am just going to keep on moseying. I did really enjoy decorating for fall. It's one of my favorite seasons. Customized that, made it a little more rustic, perfect for, of course, the season. Added a tree here for that depth. We have a few more trees. We have a bike station. Blocked it off. So now it is just, you park your bike, you go up, you make a purchase, whatever you need to do. I added this burning leaf pile just for variety. I don't usually do this, but yeah, something different. But I just thought, why not? Maybe we're trying to stay warm. Maybe we couldn't get into our house. We had to build a fire to survive. So we have that fire there. I also thought it would be cute to use the plant standees. I never use the plant standees, but just to use something different. I have one here. And then we have one across the pond over there. Yeah, it looks good, right? It fits in, it's cutesy. You can still see, notably the color changes. This has been changed. The furniture, again, has all been changed to like this mindful brown bronze theme. Some colors have been changed just to give us a little pop for fall. But I think the foliage is the most notable part here. Hay bed. Fall decor, fall themed, more mushrooms, leaf patterns everywhere, pumpkin tower, an emphasis on cozy core themes. But as you may have already noticed, the island has had a significant facelift. I truly did have like an internal dialogue with myself, and maybe it's just personal growth. But every time I work on my island and I think I'm done and I am in love with it, future me, looking back, I'm appalled. But I am really proud of how this turned out. As we come down here, this used to be a roundabout, but it is now just a little mindful nature area. We have a large mushroom here and then a few trees. One other major thing I would say has changed on this island are the beaches. So this beach, if you remember, we had a bunch of crap on it. There was furniture everywhere. It was trying to give you that full summer fantasy. You know, you're at the beach with your friends, your family. It's a little simplified. With the fall winter season among us, people aren't going to the beach as much, and with that came my demolition of whatever docks existed here on my left beaches. We had a dock here, I removed it with these rocks. I wanted to have more rocks, but quickly overwhelmed myself and then realized there's only like 5 rock furniture items, so we were kind of limited with that. I did keep my shipwreckage here just to leave a little bit of filled space on the beach, and I just added another fence to kind of block it off, so this is like a safety hazard. I think this part's really cute. As you may notice behind it, there is no longer a dock, so all of this was erased. There are some garbage remnants, but I am in the process of making it more walkable because I need to finish my Critterpedia. Resident Services got a meaningful fall update, so of course we have our pumpkins on display as you walk into Resident Services. I added more trees over here just to give us a more mindful nature experience. Here, this used to be a statue, but now it's just a tree that lost its leaves. This is another gathering spot for visitors before we go trick-or-treating, before you go to that family dinner. This is just a nice place to gather, to take pics, to relish. Lolly's yard has been fallified. We have our pumpkin cookies. We have that cute pumpkin decor. We have more leaf piles to kind of fill in the space. I did add hay beds everywhere, and then a few more mail drop-off locations in case they gotta send some letters out. To the right of Lolly's home, this is just more vegetation. I tried to really increase the foliage, as I keep saying. I forgot I was visiting my island via dream, and this just startled me. It's my other character, my main character. And as you can see, our main character, he's mindfully dressed for fall. He's collecting firewood, he has his scarf on, he has his sweater on. He's looking really cutesy. So Punchy's home, we did give him a mindful pop of color on the door, that little fish door plate, really cutesy. We left some trash, and we didn't change much here, just a few colors of the mushrooms in the trees. Added some bamboo, but for the most part, this is the same. All of our pergolas were updated for fall too, so they represent the fall theme with the colors. And then I changed this to have really meaningful stepping stones as we walk over to our campsite. Campsite is, for the most part, the same. It just was updated to reflect fall. So we won't spend too much time here. And I'm really in love with this path design. Honestly, one of my favorite path codes. I think it turned out really nicely in combination with the leaf variations. It really turned out well. I thought this was a really cute idea, just having the mushrooms on top of the hay really just added to it, right? My main house also looks so gorgeous for fall. I really like the color variations here. We have our brown tones, we have our yellow tones, our dark reds. The baby sapling keeping the tree growth stunted. It's like a nice orange. We got the yellow mums. Everything else, it really looks cutesy. I added a little light in the back to give it some more depth. With this round of my island touring, my interior house is in the process of getting a facelift for winter. We were starting to work on creating like a cozy living space for the upcoming holiday season, so you will not see much here. We do have a notable update to the bathroom. You may remember it from my last island tour video. I wasn't really happy with it. There were some changes I could make. That being said, I'm still not fully happy with it, but we did kind of shift the focus. We have more pops of color. I don't have a lot of things on the wall. We kind of kept it simple, blue themed. We have our speaker, washing machine, clothes hanger. I simplified the sink. We added a wall cabinet above the toilet, added a spotlight to kind of really just simplify that. We will change it again for the winter. I'm still really trying to find a good bathroom option. I can't design a bathroom for the life of me. One other notable thing about my house is my bedroom. Aside from the window being updated for fall, I did realize I didn't have all of the portraits I have gathered so far for cat villagers. So we have a few more on the wall. as you can see right here. If you're new here, I am trying to naturally get all cat villager portraits on my island, which is why Stinky is a new resident. He is our latest target, but we have Mitzi's photo here now. I hope she's doing amazing wherever she is. And we just made sure that all portraits we have gathered are on the wall, aside from Anka's portrait, which is in the basement. I would have to say my favorite house remodel would be Bob's house. We tried to give him the full fall fantasy, and I think that we succeeded. I was not happy with how Bob's house was in the last island tour video, and this really gives you the feeling that it's warm, it's comfortable, you have your snacks on the table, you are ready to eat a nice little crockpot meal, binge a marathon of something. I tried to stay on theme with fall in the sense that we're using the same color palette, and I would say that's really reflected with our choice of album covers to display on the wall. They are all the warm, neutral brown tones, reds, yellows, and I am really happy with how it turned out. This area is walkable for Bob for the most part, except we will never see him sitting on the couch, which is unfortunate because it is just a half tile, but he can walk in front of the table, as you can see right now. And he has full access to his kitchen chairs, as well as his stove, sink, etc. So it's functional, he just can't sit on the couch. So touching on Kitty's house really quickly, we gave her a patio makeover. So this used to be an outdoor kitchen, but now it's just a place to relax. You have your hammock, you have your comfy shoes you just took off to sit on the hammock, a little leaf pile. Behind her house, we of course have our guest house. We're not going to go into. The guest house looks very similar to my main character's house, but it's still a little empty. Inside is a wrestling ring, but we have a better wrestling ring in Stinky's house, so we'll go over that in a second. But right to the left of our guest house, and then right behind Kitty and Stinky's house, is an orchard. So this orchard used to be a farm, if you can remember, but now it's just a large orchard. We have wheat scattered below the trees, and we have hanging lights in between the trees to really just give you that cute experience. Whether you're picking apples for fall or you're just taking a little shortcut to get to Nook's Cranny, it is definitely a stopping point for visitors on the island. And then behind, we just have a few accessories and a little more apple trees to fill in the foliage. So behind this area is where nature runs rampant. I needed a solution to grow more fall-themed flowers. So in between the trees, you can kind of see I have flowers scattered everywhere so they can breed, they can grow, they can multiply. We'll come back to this area in a second and you'll kind of see why we loaded that area up with trees. It's going to be really beautiful. First, let me walk to our secret beach. It is now a lot more wooded and foresty. We have a few glitch trees to help give that dense fantasy, but we still have some crabs here. Some crabs have not been relocated. They are still here. They are still enjoying their beach. So right next to the path to the secret beach, we have this little mountain, and it is the perfect place to take pictures. So if you climb up this hidden vine, you have the best photo opportunities on this mountain, just to give you that naturey immersive viewpoint, which I really enjoy. It's just covered in trees, covered in leaves, plants, and mushrooms. I absolutely adore it. But let's head over to my favorite part of the island to see what has really changed the most. If you remember, this used to be a swamp core area, but we fully removed any floating islands. We removed any water that kind of got in the way of our vision. We now have a paved path, and over here we have some nature. It is walkable, but we're not going to walk through it. But let's go up to our viewpoint, hidden by pergolas. And this is our breathtaking view. This is where you can have a snack. You can look out and just appreciate the absolute beauty of the trees. Look how stunning this is. We have trees, we have some green trees, we have some red and yellow, some cedar trees, we have a few giant vines. but this is just the cutest lookout area that I've ever made. I'm honestly really proud of it. It was a lot setting it up. It was a very stressful journey. Let me tell you that. It was a very stressful journey. But for the most part, I love how this turned out. It is the best place to take pictures with your friends. Honorable shout out to these mushrooms. Like those two mushrooms there, stunning placement. The small mushroom, the two tall mushroom lamps, the mushroom lamp here, and then the mushroom parasol over there. It's just a chef's kiss. I'm so proud of how this turned out. It is so extremely cozy that I just love it so much. In between the trees, I tried to add some bushes. I tried to dense it up with some flowers, which you can kind of see, but it really does personify the fall experience. Crossing over this bridge takes us back to Lolly's house, where you will then be brought back to resident services. So this concludes my fall island tour of my cat-only island, Apricot. I really do hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this tour, let me know in the comments what your favorite part of this island update was, the things you didn't like, maybe something you liked from my old island that I should have done here. If you have a question about the path codes or saw something that I didn't identify, let me know and I can totally clarify that for you. If you want to follow my journey with building these islands, I totally invite you to join one of my streams. I am live almost every day except Sundays, playing cozy games like Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, Sims. I do upload a lot of my streams, so if you just need some cozy company or a podcast while you work, or you just want to catch up on a stream that you may have missed, you can definitely check those out. As of making this video, I am almost at 30,000 followers on TikTok and 1,000 followers on YouTube. Thank you so much for all of the support. It really does mean a lot, and it allows me to continue to do the things I love, which is make this kind of content and stream. I wouldn't be able to do it without you watching this video. If you could like this video, if you do want to see more kinds of content that I create, I totally recommend you subscribe. Thank you for all of the love you've been showing on my videos in general and on my last island tour video. It really does mean a lot. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.